welcome back. Sorry, I know you wanted to drink that, but too bad.
It's too bad. Do what I want.
What the frick do I freaking do in this video game?
What did you think in the Rise of Skywalker of
I hated it.
what they did with C-3PO?
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
No.
Because it's the exact same as killing off a character, but actually not really. Haha.
Yeah, so there's quite a theme of that throughout the movie. It's like, here's a character, oh no, they died. Just kidding.
Yep. I hate it.
Like
we've talked about it before.
There's no consequence.
We've talked about it before when we do our writing stuff, but
Yeah.
I think that...
Like, the power of death is such a huge power and you have to take it responsibly.
Well, yeah, the power of death is the most powerful emotional... Wow. is the most powerful tool you can use to...
Yeah.
You know, get your readers engaged and, you know, have a dramatic moment and, you know, give emotion to a scene. But if you abuse it, you will lessen that impact every single time that a character comes back from the death until it gets to the point, and many shows and stuff are like this, where when a character quote-unquote dies, you just don't even believe it. You feel nothing, because it's like, they'll come back. There are lots of shows and movies that do that. I think it's dumb, you know. So I've made it a thing in my writing that if a character dies, they're dead, and I'm gonna keep it that way. They'll never come back.
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter how much you like them.
Well, it's not that hard to do for Cass, where
Cass, the whole point is
it's a pretty grounded
yeah
sort of thing. But for some, maybe like for my comics with superhero stuff, there is that potential. But I'm not gonna do something like that. I don't think I've had a character that has. I have never had a character that I've killed off and brought them back. Although I guess I did do it in Damn Legacy, where in the final.
Oh, that works.
What did I do? I brought back, like, I got a character called Blunt, and like he gets killed off in like the second story,
right.
But then in the final one he comes back, and he's not the same at all. He's just kind of really crazy and not what he was in that second story, where it's like, I found my place. I'm doing this stuff for my own reasons.
Yeah.
And then, but like the explanation is, he was working with like dark magic, that sort of stuff, and he like worked out a way to create a version of himself that could escape.
I feel like if you're gonna do
mentor.
something like that, you should at least like tease it.
Yeah,
you know?
so
tease that it's a possibility.
I still have that option now.
And do it like immediately as well.
Yeah, like it has to be in the time that you see the character. There is that hint of what they are actually capable of. And so I guess they didn't do that with Palpatine. Like in the prequels, you don't get that sense that Palpatine has, like, he always is like in the original trilogy in Return of the Jedi.
Whoa.
He always suggested that he had some big plan, but you felt like, and then in Rise of Skywalker it's like, well, he's kind of lying, isn't he? He doesn't really have that big a plan. He doesn't really see the future like that. He's just he just thinks he does.
Yeah.
And so you just see that he's just some fool, really.
I guess.
And that really takes away from Palpatine, but at the same time, it adds to him, because he's like, he is doing it solely for himself. He's the best Sith ever.
You know, it also affects other characters as well. Him coming back.
Yeah.
A lot of people point this out, but it lessens Darth Vader's sacrifice at the end of Return of the Jedi, because it's like, he died, and he basically gave up on everything he believed in, because, you know, to kill Palpatine and save his son.
Yeah.
But whoops! Turns out
Palpatine's dead.
Palpatine's not even
and his
dead.
son's dead. So it's like all a waste.
In the end, Palpatine actually kind of won. And it's like, well, that's not nice to look back on.
No.
Like, that's the problem with films like this. Is like, now when you go back and watch The Last Jedi, you will know for a fact that Palpatine survived. and Darth Vader's sacrifice was ultimately in vain.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, I found that I'm pretty good now at separating these films from each other. I'm able to just enjoy it and try not to think about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They all feel disconnected enough for me that it's like, whatever, you know?
What happened? I got a bit confused, like after, because I've only seen the movie once, Rise of Skywalker, but I got a bit confused afterwards. What happens? Does Kylo Ren get another spaceship? Because it gets destroyed by Rey when she cuts it.
Oh,
and then she
doesn't.
gets another one, like he gets another one or something. Because it goes into like whatever their head spaceship.
She destroys it on the desert planet.
Yeah, and then she takes it to Luke's island and she burns it.
Well, yeah, because they meet up at the Death Star 2 ruins.
Yeah. And
he used another. Yeah, he had another TIE fighter, I guess.
Yeah, another special one, like his own special model.
Weird.
Yeah.
What's interesting is because then they have a bit of consistency. Because then, when he follows, or he follows her to, whatever the Sith planet's called again, he actually has a different TIE fighter.
Oh.
He has like a normal one.
Yeah, he takes a regular one. Yeah.
So it's like, that's a bit of a weird inconsistency, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's actually quite a few weird inconsistencies that I've noticed. In The Last Jedi, the lightsaber gets Luke's lightsaber or Darth Vader's lightsaber or whatever. It gets torn in two at the end.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of The Last Jedi, it's fine.
At the beginning of Rise of Skywalker, it's fine.
Yeah, thank you. And it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Why? It's not. Again, another thing that's just not addressed. But I feel like that one's actually just a legitimate
like a big
continuity error. Yeah. That's not right. It's not supposed to happen. I guess someone just didn't think of that. Now, so there'll be some retroactive things like, oh yeah, but they fixed it off camera. It's like, then why even make them break it in the first place?
It was just an aesthetic thing, maybe.
That's dumb.
I think, because the point was there was like a relic that Kylo and Rey were fighting over. Was Luke's lightsaber.
But they were showing, the whole point of it was like, forget the past, and then they destroy it, and it's like, they forgot.
Because that lightsaber
moving
was
on,
special.
but that's the big problem with the Rise of Skywalker, is it's too much backtracking, you know, and kind of erasing a lot of the things that The Last Jedi created.
Or that the entire saga you created.
Yeah, it's like, particularly The Last Jedi, because like, and I think I honestly do think a lot of it's a response to the backlash of The Last Jedi. So you could almost say, the reason Rise of Skywalker sucks is because the fans made it suck, because there was so much backlash. They were like, well, we're not going to pursue this anymore. It's like, there's the obvious ones, like having Rey be a nobody was way cooler than her being a freaking Palpatine. Also, by the way, can I just say, Stephanie, you should add at the beginning of each episode when we talk about Rise of Skywalker that we're going to talk about it. Yeah. At the beginning, put a little spoiler warning at the beginning. Because I think it's like the third or fourth episode we've talked about it in a row.
But there's a lot to talk about. It's a big movie and it's a big topic.
So the themes of letting the past die, that was a big one. Oh, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, well, that was throughout the whole saga as well, and that's something that Kylo was arguing.
But then,
let the past die, kill it if you have to.
Yeah, and then they kind of just were like, nah.
No, I'm gonna hold on to it really tightly.
It's like, and then destroying the lightsaber was big symbolism. It's back now. Rey being a nobody. Actually, she's a Palpatine. It's like they backtracked on so much stuff. It's just like, it honestly to me feels like two different timelines of what happened after the Force Awakens. Yeah. In my opinion. And Luke making that, he throws the lightsaber away, and how he's like showing you, like, you don't need a fucking lightsaber to be a Jedi or whatever. And then in the Rise of Skywalker, they have a fucking scene where he grabs it and he says, Jedi's tools should be given more care. That honestly felt like they were talking directly to the audience, like, we're sorry we made Luke throw the lightsaber away. It's like, come on, grow a spine up. Yeah. But whatever. I know I sound really riled up, but I just don't care. At the end of the day, I really don't have the energy to care that much about these films.
Rise of Skywalker is a cool movie, But it's kind of like the new Return of the Jedi.
With each film that they've after Force Awakens, my interest in Star Wars has gone down and down and down. That's just me personally, but you know, Rogue One was alright. Didn't really excite me all that much. The Last Jedi was so controversial and stuff, and it was kind of it was okay, you know. Solo I kind of really legitimately dislike, and then by the point that the Rise of Skywalker came out, I'm just like, whatever, you know. And it's kind of good because I was able to enjoy it a lot more, like I said, because I'm not as invested in the series anymore, which is simultaneously a good thing and a bad thing. It's kind of sad, but also not. Also, this is one of the easiest bosses in the game.
Yeah.
So the reason we're not really acknowledging it is because who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Fyrus. Oh gee, I wonder what I do.
I remember in high school when
immediately got hit.
I was fighting this boss, and I was asking you how to do it because I was too scared to do it at first. I was like, I don't want to fight the boss. I was always so scared to fight the boss. Yeah. Like, it's supposed to be really difficult, so I'm just scared to do it. But
that's not at all. That was one. I remember when this game came out. That was the big criticism: is that the bosses are too easy. They get harder though. I think.
Where'd you get your information from? It's too easy. Did you?
When the reviews came out for this game. Oh. Are you kidding me?
I didn't read reviews. I just got the game, played it.
Well, good.
Was always very positive about
grab the
new games and thought it's all good. Man,
I mean, everyone likes this game. No one dislikes it. I'm pulling him. He's dragging across the ground. All right. Yeah, in magazines and I'm pretty sure online reviews and stuff. I remember watching or reading that people are great game. Bosses are a bit easy. I'm like, oh, all right. And then I played the game. Damn, they're right. They're more spectacle bosses. They're set pieces more than anything. If that makes sense.
There were a few things that I talked about in my Fun about Rise of Skywalker.
Me fucking brain.
One of them was, why does it have to be the last trilogy, and why does it have to be a trilogy?
Tradition. Star Wars is a series plagued by tradition, as is Pokemon. I know I keep bringing up Pokemon, but I'm playing a lot of it, right? And there's actually a lot of parallels. Yeah. There's a lot of traditional stuff that Star Wars does that, I don't necessarily think is great, but people would be annoyed if they didn't include them, so, it is what it is. Gotta have the
Sith and the Jedi.
Well,
you gotta have one.
No. Gotta have the. I was actually talking to someone the other day, talking about how to deal with exposition in things, because obviously with exposition you want to try and avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Without having to explicitly explain anything, or worse, have a wall of text explaining shit.
Yeah.
But Star Wars is not only a series that gets away with having a literal wall of exposition at the beginning of every film, but people would complain and feel like it's not a real Star Wars film if it wasn't there. It's the classic example of the exception and not the rule. It's kind of funny. Because, it literally has an exposition dump at the beginning of every film, and that's just how it is. It's tradition for people. If you don't have it. There are other little things as well, how it does how it does fade wipes,
Fade wipes.
Yeah, for scene transitions.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not a good scene transition at all, but
they do that a lot in the prequels. I'm supposed to do it in the original.
They do it in all of them. Yeah, it's a traditional thing. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. My head hurts. Yeah, there's the boss we just fought. Fucking, who cares?
Big girl.
See ya.
Okay.
Anyway. You know what? We'll talk more about Rise of Skywalker in the next episode. Bye.